let's get started for Catholic Alpha's Radical Rent of the Day on Valentine's Day. And I hope you gentlemen have prepared well and have gotten your Valentine's Day things going. Even if you're in marriage crisis, you have to send your wife at least a card with, I'm here if you change your mind. I'm here. I don't, it, I, don't- can we start a friendship again? Or if you are in good standing with your wife, be special, go all out. The thing about it is, if you don't do something on these kind of days, man, they're gonna hold it against you. That's the truth. Don't matter if you are in marriage crisis or if you're in a good marriage. If you forget and don't send them nothing, they're gonna hold it against you. It'll be 30 years from now. Remember that time in Valentine's Day on 2024 where you didn't even send me a card? We were separated. We were separated. I don't care. You didn't love me and you don't love me now. Right? We all know how it goes. And so let's remember that these days are not these kind of days, Valentine's Day. What is the other one? Birthday. What's the other one? Anniversaries, those kind of things. They are meant for you, the man, to come out of yourself, do something special for the one you say you love, your wife. And, hopefully she appreciates it and you guys can move on. These days aren't meant to show, you're only meant to really give the icing on the cake. And as we're going to talk about today, we talked about yesterday, and we're going to talk about tomorrow with some action steps, is that what you do is you show your wife throughout the year that you love her, how deeply you care for her. And then those other 3 days, like Valentine's Day and anniversary and birthdays, those are icing on the cake for her. Okay. And that being said, well, it's Ash Wednesday, guys. Y'all see Jerry got his little ash this morning. I almost didn't go because I was tired and my wife jumped out of the bed. So I said, well, I guess I'll go with her. So I jumped out of the bed. We went up to the church and got our ashes. And thing about it is, man, you got to understand Ash Wednesday. It is the kickoff to Lent, which is basically about suffering and sacrifice, being like Christ being tempted by the devil for 40 days and all that stuff. But Ash Wednesday is about your death, to understand that you are dust and to dust you shall return. And we should be thinking about our mortality all the time as men, as husbands, as fathers, and we should be thinking about our death and preparing for that. If you don't think about your death, how are you going to prepare for life? If you don't think about your death, how are you going to prepare for death? Believe it or not, this little 100 years, man, it's a big test. Are you ready for the big time? The big time is heaven. The big time is being in front of our Lord and God Himself. And you have to prove that you're worthy of that, just like you had to prove to your wife that you were worthy of her when you first married her. It doesn't change. For men, it's always a big, gigantic test. Can we pass it? And to be lazy and effeminate and be emasculated and not take care of business and be slothful, all those kind of things are the degradation of authentic masculinity that our Lord Jesus Christ tried to show us. I mean, He showed it to us, but He's trying to get us to emulate that. Okay. So real quick, before we go on break, real quick, we're going to review the first 10 things of how to keep your wife and your marriage going forever. Keep her heart. How do you win your wife's heart forever? And y'all think, man, Jerry, man, you know what? You be tripping, man. You be talking about all this crazy stuff. That stuff you talking about don't do nothing. It don't work. And if I do, how do you win your wife's heart forever? Hey, dude, believe it or not, it is possible. It is possible. You don't want to be married for 5 years, 20 years, 40 years, 50 years, and just going along to get along. You want to be passionate about each other. And the way you get your wife to be passionate about you is you first must be passionate about her, and you must win her heart daily. That's how you do this, man. And these things that I'm going over, man, many of them ain't even that hard. Really, it's just a building of the habit. You build the habit, And no matter how you feel, you do it anyway. That's what's wrong with guys. And that's what's wrong with people today. What we do is, if we don't feel like doing it, well, we ain't gonna do it. And we're gonna let everybody know we don't feel like doing it. We're gonna let everybody know we got a crappy attitude and everything. But with our wife, we can't do that, right? We can't. We can't do that. We can't be just like a regular old person with our wife. Yes, you can be yourself, but you have to show passion and excitement for her so that she will start to show that for you and know that you're into her. And so this is what it's about, man. Winning your wife's heart throughout the year, forever, dude. Not just on Valentine's Day. I mean, Valentine's Day is okay. I'm not really a big Valentine's Day person. I just feel like just trying to get my money. But hey, you know what? I'm not stupid. I play along because I got a wife. And so when you have a wife, or you got a girlfriend, you can't be playing games like that. I remember back in high school, there was this thing, how we are in high school, y'all, we do all kind of silly stuff. But there are guys, they used to joke about, hey, y'all, Valentine's Day coming, man. We got to break up with our girlfriends. Break up with our girlfriends so we ain't got to buy them nothing. Y'all know how it used to be. I bet you them young boys are like that today too. Okay. So real quick, before we go on to the final 10, let's go over the first 10 from yesterday of how to win your wife's heart today, tomorrow, and forever, not just on Valentine's Day. After Valentine's Day is over, what you gonna do, gentlemen? After Valentine's Day is over, what you gonna do? Okay? Because your wife's a human person. That little stuff is cool today, but what you gonna do tomorrow and the next day, the day after that? And so my job today and yesterday and tomorrow is try to help you with that by giving you some actionable steps that you can do. First of all, yesterday and today, we're gonna try to give you the things that you should look at and decide if this is you, if you're gonna start doing these things. And then tomorrow on the next show, we're gonna give you some things that you can do throughout the year to help her keep that fire for you in her heart. And that's what it is, okay? You remember, you're special to your wife, no matter where you want to look at it or not. You are special to her, and you her man, and she wants to have that love for you and wants you to show it for her. So from yesterday's show, the last show, episode 210, the number one thing is do things without having to be asked. That's not really self-explanatory, but listen, do things that your wife, you see things need to be done. That's how you win your wife's heart. Do things need to be done. She shouldn't have to ask you 3 and 4 times like a little 2-year-old or 10-year-old or 15-year-old to do things that that needs to be done. Okay. Number 2, never allow the emotional closeness to leave your marriage. Never allow the emotional closeness to leave your marriage. Don't be lazy. Basically, keep that connection going. Number 3, pray for your wife. Enter spiritual warfare. If you don't pray for your wife, who will? Number 4, learn how to make love to your wife outside the bedroom. Emotional intimacy is important. Doing special things outside the bedroom so that inside the bedroom, you guys are on fire for each other and your wife is passionate and desires you immeasurably. Okay. Number 5, listen to her without interrupting. Get into a habit of listening to your wife without interrupting her. Let her talk. Get into her. Okay. Number 6, allow her to nurture and guide you and show her that you value her opinion. Your wife wants to guide you. That's what she's there for. God gave her you as your helpmate. Take her guidance. Be her comrade. Listen to her. She loves you more than anybody else on the planet. Take her advice, value her opinion, and show her that and allow her to nurture you. Number 7, show your wife appreciation every single day. Number 8, never take your wife for granted. Number 9, never argue, fight, blame, or criticize her. These things push your wife away and make you not want to be around her. And number 10, protect your wife from you. Never raise your voice. Never call your wife names. Never argue with her and fight with her. These things push her away. These things hurt her very badly. And if you don't believe me, just come listen to one of my coaching groups. Be right back. Bam. If you're getting value from this podcast and would like more personal marriage help, visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com for an opportunity to work with me personally for free. Yes, within 30 days, learn how to become a better husband that attracts your wife back to you. Visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com and get a plan tailored specific to your marriage and situation. I've helped hundreds of men in their marriages. Allow me the chance to help you using my personal and gained experience. Visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com for superior coaching for your marriage. Again, SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com. That's SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com to become the man God created you to be and the husband your wife needs. Lastly, I always get the question, why don't you help women? And I always answer them, I do. So, for all of you beloved wives out there that want to reignite that feeling of emotional closeness and complete love from your hubby, consider marriage coaching and visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com for an improved marriage within 30 days. Hey, we are back. So if you're one of them guys, you're not sure what to do today with your wife for Valentine's Day, it's 10 o'clock, basically 10:15 Eastern in the morning on Valentine's Day, man. Hey, call me, man. I'll hook you up real quick. Let me know the situation, and I'll get you. I'll help you to make this day special in a little amount of time that you have left. See, when you got a special woman like I got, man, she came to me and she said, "Hey, I don't want to celebrate no Valentine's Day on no weekday." Man, my wife is crazy. She said, nah, we're going to celebrate on Saturday. I said, we are? Yeah. I said, you sure? Yeah. Okay. So, see, I don't fall for stuff. So, yesterday morning, I woke up, my wife woke up. I said, okay, now, are you sure we celebrating Valentine's Day on Saturday? And she said, yes, correct. So there you go. So we gonna do this on Saturday. I understand why. We're both working. Like me, I'm doing the podcast right now. Tonight, we're gonna be tired. I understand she wants to have a good time. So what better way to have a good time than on the weekend, right? When when you off, you're not working and things like that. So that being said, um, today we're going to go over the next 11. We got 10 more real quick. I'm going to go over them pretty quick today. So because I want you men to understand that, to get it through you, that, man, what this is about is loving your wife forever and getting her to know you love her forever. And then things will be cool. They will be cool, man. These things I'm going to give you today, most of them are really easy, but as anything else, you have to be a man in action and you got to do them and you got to remember to do them. One thing I can say about women is most women understand that you got to work. They understand that you're a man. They understand that we're kind of hard-headed, but they love us. They love us. So when they love, we have a lead way. Most women don't expect you to be this romantic man 24 hours, 7 days a week. They don't expect all of that stuff like that. Most women are normal women. Most women are down to earth. And but when things come up like Valentine's Day and anniversary birthday, they expect you to go above and beyond. And I understand that. But if you're one of them dudes that, like, throughout the year, you with your wife and you hooking her up throughout the year of these things that I'm going over, man, you will see things will be a lot more smooth for you. Believe it or not, man, the things that I'm going over these are the things that women really want. Yeah, they want gifts and flowers and you to be spontaneous and stuff on a regular basis, man. But that day-to-day battling, grudging it out, these things are what is going to keep your marriage together, keep your wife feeling loved, and keep you and her close and keep that emotional connection on fire, which is what you want. Believe it or not, man, guys think, man, this marriage is hard. Yes, marriage is hard at the beginning, but once you and your wife you're on the same page, man, and you doing these things that I'm talking about, you will see things start to smooth out as your years go on. And that's what you want. You want to have a woman that you can grow old with, experience things with, experience life together, experience death together. You know, be there for you if you're sick or if you're dying, and vice versa. You know, the thing about the Catholic Church, they preach all the time, you want to have a good death. Having a good death is important, and one of the keys to that is having your wife and your children around you when you're sick and you're about to pass away, and having your priest there. Dude, that's a good death, man, and your soul's clean and you're ready to meet God at your particular judgment. And so these things right here will help ensure that you will always have that woman there that's there to support you, there to love you, and there to serve you, and you serve her. And that's how you go through this life, man. That's what we all yearn for. That's what we all want. Okay. So today we're going to hit the final 10, and then tomorrow I'll give you on show two, would it be 212? I'll give you actual things that you can do throughout the year to keep yourself out of trouble and in good standing with your wife at all times. So number 11, we are to it, y'all. Number 11 of how to keep your wife happy today, tomorrow, and decades into the future. Number 11, always defend her against Satan, your parents, siblings, friends, and kids. Ooh, all right, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Jerry, kids, my friends. Okay, give me a second. So, women instinctively expect their husbands to defend them. And when they are attacked by the above, kids, Satan, parents, siblings, friends, they expect you to jump in and defend them. Many men I have helped come to me with the exact complaint from their wife. It is the start of their marriage problems in his refusal to defend her and to stand up for her. Dude, this is, look, I can't say this enough. And the problem with this one right here is you don't know when it's coming. A lot of the other stuff, you can kind of like prepare for that. Like if like you when it happens, you get some time. But this one right here, dude, you have no time. When it happens, you got to be the hero like right now. This is like being on the battlefield and all hell breaks loose and you got to start fighting and getting out of there and killing people like right now. This is the way this one is. Okay, I'll tell you a story. So I had a client one time, and man, he had sisters. And the sisters just treated his wife so bad. They were mean to her. They did mean stuff. They went behind her back and did stuff. Don't ask me why. People are crazy. I know you're like, man, get a life. Exactly, get a life, but that's not how it was. And so the husband, man, he didn't stand up for her, man. He kind of just was like trying to talk to her, trying to talk to the sisters and try to get them to stop playing around and go talk to his parents to get the parents to get the sisters to stop doing the stuff. But for some reason, they hated his wife and they made her feel miserable. And he did not stand up for her. And I'm telling you, man, that is detrimental to a woman. I married you because you're my hero. I married you because you're my knight in shining armor. And I married you because I expect you to defend me and take care of me in that way. And see, that was a problem. And that's a problem for many women, even feminazis. Don't get it twisted. When a woman marries you, I don't care her mindset, but her main thing is you're going to defend me against other people. And when we don't do that, man, it makes them look at us like we're not real men. That's kind of how they look at it. You ain't even a real man. You didn't defend me against whoever. You didn't defend me against your parents, whoever the kids acting up. You didn't defend against. You didn't take up for me or nothing. You know, this is the start of marriage problems. And the thing that I've noticed in my experience in 8 years, and now even 8 years, man, my span of being married, of being around other people that have been married and hearing all kind of stuff of my life, when that one happens, women never forget it. They never forget it that when we don't stand up for it. That's why it's so vital. It's so vital when that time comes and your mom and daddy or say something disrespectful to your wife in her face, and you just stand there. This happens a lot with mothers, don't it? And you just stand there and you don't defend her. You gonna pay for that one. You gonna pay for that one. This usually happens with mother-in-laws. They can't let they want their little boy to grow up. They can't let him go. They only got one kid. You see them kind. They only got one kid, and then that little boy, he's everything to her. And then the little boy's trying to grow up and get away from her and bury his wife and have another family of his own, but mama can't let him go. And he's a mama's boy. And so he don't understand that when he got married to that lady, he's supposed to let his mama go. He's supposed to let his mama go and go be with his new mama, and his new mama is his wife. Ephesians 5:21-33, baby. You're supposed to leave your mama, leave your daddy, go with your wife, and go off and become one flesh. You ain't supposed to be listening to your mother and father when it comes to disrespecting your wife and trying to screw up your marriage. Okay? It's very important that you as a man understand this one, man. And that's what I'm saying. This is one of them things that pops up like you in the grocery store. All of a sudden, people, a couple, two or three guys running the grocery store and trying to rob the store. Okay, what do? Right? It's like, oh man, like it happens like right now, and you don't have time to think. So if it were me, what I would do if I were you, because I've had to stand up to my parents before. I've had to stand up to my sisters. I have to stand up to my family because I don't play that. That's my wife. And sometimes you gotta let your mom and daddy go if they can't act right, you know. Um, but this one is the one that it happens so fast you don't even see it coming and you don't know how to react. So the best way to react is go with your instinct, and first thing you do is say, "Hey, mama, let's relax a minute. Don't speak to my wife like that," and blah blah blah. Most parents and most siblings and stuff will back down if you stand up. If you don't stand up, they go, "Oh, it's field day on your wife. Every time she done something wrong, or if I don't like her, I treat her the kind of way I want." Boom. You gotta remember, people say that when you marry that person's family. I don't necessarily believe that so much, but I do understand that your family is going to be around, and you have to understand how to deal with certain situations. Okay. Um, so what does this mean? Like Satan, like stand up to Satan, defend your wife against Satan. That's easy. Spiritual warfare. Pray for your wife, like we talked about last show. Or your parents and siblings. Don't allow them to attack your wife or treat her mean in any way, as this is your wife, and we are called to stand by them. All right. Because I guarantee you, man, most women, more than most women, if they mom and daddy or they brother and sister start talking bad about you, man, she's like, hey, wait a minute, man, I'm gonna get a knife. You better be quiet. That's my man. That's how women are. They're gonna stand up to they peeps. If they love you and they know you love them, they're going to stand up for you, man. Women will leave their families and abandon their friends and their families and everything for the man they love, dude. It's proven throughout history. Okay. So this is one time where I say, be like a woman. Do what she would do. When somebody attacks your wife, like I'm not talking about a man or something outside that's different. That's a whole different story. I'm talking about your family, your friends, people you love, the kids, things like that. Right off the bat, you got to be like a woman and stand up for them. Stand up for her right away. Okay. Your friends, she must be more important than your friends, and meaning you don't continually rush out to help them at the expense of your relationship with your wife. I can't tell you how many guys, well, man, my friend called, and every day they friends calling, or some friends calling every week, every month, and they running out and putting they friend what they friend needs over their wife. Like dudes letting their friends move up in the house with them and stuff. Is that crazy? Man, you don't let some grown dude move up in the house with your wife and kids, man. You go get your own house. Look, I help you pay for a hotel or something, but you ain't moving up in my house with my wife. Oh, well, he did this for me and he did that for me when we was kids and we was and he saved my life. Look, I don't care what it was. I don't care what it was. Nothing is as important as your wife, and especially if she's against it. Because most women at first they'll be like, "Oh yeah, baby, he needs some help. Going over there and help him and see what he needs." But you got some dudes they feel so much loyalty to their friends and they so-called best friend that they neglect their wife and what she wants and what she needs. That's your most important relationship. And this goes along with you being a real man and understanding your purpose and role as a man, as Christ did, right? And I don't like guys that do that. Every time you look up, they run out there trying to do what their friend needs. And then their wife, only thing their wife want to go out and buy a purse to take to church or buy a hat for church. What you doing that for? So that's another one. And then of course the last one, the kids. People gonna be like, what do you mean the kids? Okay, the kid thing comes like this. When they need discipline and act out or are disrespectful to our wife, we must react immediately and decisively to correct them. Okay? So here the kid thing is a little touchy, but it's really not. Believe it or not, women will hold you responsible for this. If you don't discipline your kids the way you're supposed to, because women don't want to discipline the kids because they know they can't. They know their temperament don't allow them to spank their kids or raise their voice or put them on punishment or whatever. That's your job. And that's how most women look at it. Now they'll try to defend the kid and go, "Oh, baby, be a little easier on him." And y'all talk about it, whatever. But to be real, women expect you to discipline the children when they step out of line. And the main thing is when one of those kids says something disrespectful to their wife or to their mother, they're bitching and whining. Like, just say she says, "Johnny, go up there, clean your room." "Oh, Mom, I don't want to clean my room and I don't feel like doing it. Can I just do this? Can I do it later?" And then she goes, "Okay, man, go clean your room now." And your daddy, you sitting right there and you don't say nothing. What does that mean? Are you standing up for your wife or are we being a wuss? Right? And the proper reaction is, "Hey man, you better get up there and clean your room or I'm gonna tap that butt." That's how you do that. We never ever allow our children to disrespect our women, our wives. Never ever in 1,000 years. You don't even let them come close to it. Why? Because when they grow, first of all, if they can respect their mama, they're gonna disrespect other women. And we know today's society, you disrespect a woman, she gonna put your butt in jail. you know, there'll be police on your door getting your son and taking his butt to jail. you know. So you've got to teach boys, especially boys and women and daughters too, how to respect other people. And that starts with their parents. All right. All right. Number 12. Oops. Number 12. Never stop. I'm sorry. Number 12. Go. Yeah. Number 12 of how to keep your wife's heart forever is go on date night weekly. This is a bonding activity that must not be ignored. Date her, court her, love her. This is the goal. If we don't bond with them, how will our love come through? There is no excuse for not going on date night. Money, too busy, etc. As men, we must ask ourselves, what is our first priority? And if the answer is not our wife, we will lose her in our marriage eventually. Look, man, I know you guys hear all the time, date night, date night, date night, so date night's played out. But I'm gonna tell you what, it ain't played out. Just look at it like this. Think about how many times actually during the week, how many hours that you spend with your wife. Actually, just you and her by yourselves, no kids, no friends, no parents, no co-workers, no job, any of that. Just think of during the week, how much time do y'all spend together? Practically none. Practically none. This is why date night is imperative. It is a bonding, connecting activity. It helps you remember how you used to be before all the kids came along, before all the job came along, before all making all this money came along. This is what, this is what your wife is looking for. If you and guys don't bond together, then you're going to start separating. And date night is very special. It's very special, and you should not let anything interfere with that. Now, people are going to say, well, I got to do this, and I got the kids, got this, kid, that. Look, man, look at it like this. How happy the kids going to be if you and your wife get divorced? How happy they going to be then? Remember, priority: God first, your wife and marriage second, and your kids are third. So what does that mean? If what your kids need to, with what your kids have to do is going to interfere with you and your wife relationship, they gotta wait, man. They gotta wait. I'm telling you, man, it works like clockwork. It has worked for me for the 22 years I've been married to my wife. My wife knows ain't no little snotty nosed kid more important than her. She knows that. And I show it too. I ain't stupid. I know how women think, man, and I know how things become a habit. If you start putting the kids above your wife, who you gonna put up? Who you gonna put above her next? Your mama, your daddy, your friends, your job, your money, your car. See, it's just a habit, man. Believe it or not, it works, man. Your wife has to know deep, deep within her soul that she is priority number one. Why? Then she'll serve you unlike any other. But you have got to prove yourself as a man first and worthy of that love. All right. So that's why date night's important. You've got to continuously bond with your wife because you don't hardly spend no time with her anyway because of other responsibilities in your week, in the week. It's like not making love for more than 2 or 3 weeks in a month and stuff. Think about it. When's the last time you and your wife made love? If it's been more than 30 days, man, y'all got problems. And somebody needs to get that going. Like, hey, what's going on? Why are we not intimate with each other? Why are we not holding hands? Why? I don't care if you're 90 years old. I don't care. Why are we not holding hands? Why are we not sitting next to each other? Why are we not talking to each other? Why are we not making love? Why are what's going on? Please, this is how you win her heart. This is how you do it. It's proven and it works. The problem is we're hard-headed as husbands and we think we know everything. And then when things start getting bad and go into an emergency situation, all of a sudden now we want to be asking everybody's advice. When we thought everything was cool, we don't want nobody's advice. I dare you get involved in my business, that kind of attitude. Well, that's what happened to, what's his name? Judas. he killed himself, didn't he? Because he betrayed Jesus, because he didn't listen to nobody. Silly. Okay? So that's date night. Number 13. Now, these next 2 or 3 kind of go together, y'all. They kind of overlap. So number 13 reason, I mean, not 13 reason, number 13 is how to win your wife's heart forever after Valentine's Day and beyond is never stop dating and courting your wife. Now, you kind of think, well, Jerry, that's kind of like the last one. No, it's not. Check me out. So women expect, and rightfully so, to be courted and dated for their entire life. They expect to be treated first and foremost in our lives. They expect to be loved and cared for emotionally. And an easy way to do this is to treat her the way you did when you guys were courting. There are many things you do now that you would not dream of doing when you were dating her. This will pay off in spades. This one's easy, man. It really is. The way you make your wife feel that you're dating and courting her for the rest of her life is you just kind of remember that, ask yourself, would I do this if we was courting, if I was trying to get in her pants when we was dating? Yeah, I said it, because that's how guys are. When we trying to date a woman, we're trying to get in her pants. She is the queen of the Nile. We'll do anything that we can to get her to hug us and kiss us and have sex with us and stuff. Then she gives us her gift. All of a sudden, well, she ain't important no more. I got to go to work. Or I got to go see what my buddies want. We married, and I got to take the kids to all this, to football practice, basketball practice, golf practice, school event. I got to go see what my mama want. My mama needs me. Your wife just kind of becomes like kind of like down by the river. She's just a person across the street. And see, this is how our marriage degrades. And it takes a little while because women, when they love you, especially at first, you just get married, it might take them 10, 15 years to start going, oh man, this guy, he ain't about worth nothing. He ain't trying to do nothing. He just treat me like any other thing. I ain't even special to him anymore. And then when she serve a person to serve a man divorce papers, he try to act like, you gave me divorce papers. What you do that for? Cause man, I don't know you. Just like Jesus, right? Everybody thinks they're gonna have a deathbed confession. Everybody does. We all do. We're gonna have this deathbed confession. Then we're gonna come to Jesus on our deathbed. Yeah, how will that gonna happen? What if you die in a car accident? What if you get one of them quick diseases and it takes you have a heart attack? You die right there on the street. Ain't no deathbed happening. And see, that's the thing. We gotta remember that preparation and not taking stuff for granted. Not taking our wife for granted is imperative. Not taking God for granted is imperative. Because you never know when your wife, even me, I've been married for 22 years, and all the other guys been married and we still don't really know what our wife's thinking. We really don't. That's where it is with God. You don't know when God's going to allow your life to be taken. So you got to be prepared, man. You got to be prepared. Okay? And showing your wife that you're dating and courting her, making her feel special, just like when you was dating. Believe it or not, that goes a long way in her mind, in her heart, in her mind, in her soul. Listen, man. This is how you do it. This is how you do it, man. These 20 things, man, all you got to do is read them every day and look at them and say, hey, man, am I doing that? If you don't know how, start. Really. Because really, most of them ain't even that hard. Okay? Number 14, assure and show her she is priority number one. Assure your wife that she is priority number one with your mouth, and then with your actions, you show her she's priority number one. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. Stop using your mouth to do everything. Oh, yeah, I love you, baby. Like, guys every day, their wife leaving, they just go peck him. I love you, peck. Next day, I love you, peck. Next day, I love you, peck. Next day, I love you, peck. So you're like, after a while, your wife going, man, what is that? That ain't nothing. We even hugging or nothing. Look, get in the habit of trying to understand what your woman needs, man. And then she will start to give you what you need. Really. And one of the ways is this. Again, I say this a lot. I forgot where I got this quote from. But anyway, I say it a lot. A lot of people say it too. No one cares about you until they know you care about them, including your wife. Your wife is no different. And when we married her, this is the unsaid promise that we made. Believe it or not, when you asked your wife to marry you, this is the unsaid promise you made to your wife. And this is it. I will love you forever. I will give you the world. You will always be the most important person in my life. And I will show you this each and every day. Believe it or not, in her mind, that's what you promised. Ask her. Ask her. She'll tell you. She'll tell you. And when I say give her the world the best of your ability. Because everybody's not Donald Trump. We got billions of dollars and stuff. I mean, the means as a man to give her the world of what you can. Okay? Your wife, that's what they expect, man. That's what they expect. And I'm going to ask you, and if you ain't, how's that working out for you? If you're breaking that promise, how's that working out for you? It ain't working out too well. Okay? Are you keeping this promise, gentlemen? Are you keeping it? Men think that the relationship is 50-50. We've been conned into this stupid thing in the society. Well, when she fixes herself, I'll work on myself. Because she's got all these things wrong. And, she's got all these things wrong. And when she get herself together, I'll maybe think about getting myself together. Maybe. Man, that ain't how it works. if you know anything about God and our mission from God, as a man, you know that you're responsible for everything and you the leader. So leaders lead, they don't follow. So in your house, you're the leader. That's the authority given to you by God. That's your command to lead your home. So if that's the case, how you gonna sit around and have the gall? How we gonna sit around as men and have the gall to say in our head, well, she got all this stuff wrong. When she get herself together, I'll get myself together. I can't tell you how many guys come talk to me talking about, well, what's she gonna do? When she gonna do this stuff? It's a two-way street. It ain't neither. It ain't neither. Your wife is 10% of relationship and you 90. Get over it, dude. You're responsible for everything. God didn't say you're only responsible for this, this, and this. He said you're responsible for everything. So that means what? You got to be like Christ. Take on the world. Conquer the world, baby. Stop being a wuss. Understanding your home, if you as a man want something done, you got to lead in that area first. Then your wife will follow. Guess what? One of the things I got to get in men's hands is the reason you got to lead first, number one, is that's what God wants. But even more than that, if you want a loving, devoted, serving, beautiful, caring, awesome wife, you got to create it. You create the wife you got. She don't create that. You create it by how you treat her. That quote I read at the beginning of this darn show, I'm going to read it again because I'm getting upset right now. I got to calm myself down. This is how you treat a woman, man. This is a saint talking. Quote, I have taken you in my arms and I love you and I prefer you to my life itself. For the present life is nothing, and my most ardent dream is to spend it with you in such a way that we may be assured of not being separated in the life reserved for us. I place your love above all things, and nothing would be more bitter or painful to me than to be of a different mind than you, end quote. St. John Chrysostom. Now, some men might say, oh man, Jerry, that's wacky. That's a saint talking, man. That's a saint talking. We know more than a saint does about love and God and Christ and our women. No, we don't. This is what I'm saying, man. You are tasked as the leader and lover in your family. And your first one you love is God, and the second one you love with all your heart, mind, body, and soul is your wife. And if you want to conquer her soul, her mind, and her body and her spirit, you've got to love her so hard and so tough that she will never, ever want to think about leaving you or being separated from you. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it, baby. No, we want to go and work 25,000 times harder at our job to make peanuts. But when it comes to loving God and our wife, we want to give 2-cent effort. And you get we get what we give in everything we do. All of us know that. Even our fathers taught us that. So if in your marriage and your relationship with God, if you give 2 cents, you're going to get 2 cents back. But if you give all that you are, all of you are as a man, and you know your responsibilities and what's happening, you're going to get millions back, millions and million times back of what you gave. And this is what I was trying to get you to understand, man. Your wife will serve you and love you and give all that she has to make sure that you are happy and fulfilled, but you have got to do it first. Okay? All right. Now, next. Putting your wife on a pedestal is the best way to achieve these things. Adore her, cherish her, hold her close, and she will give you the world as only a loving wife can. But more important, she will spread your love to your children and lead them to you. So I got a call. Okay. All right, caller, give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring you in once I get done with number 14. Your wife and your children Your wife will lead your children to you. And if your wife and your family is not leading the children to you, that is a prime example that there's a disconnect, there's a problem. And this is a prime clue that you have serious problems in your relationship with your wife. If your wife daily is not leading those kids to you, if she's the love you give her, if she's not spreading it to your family, to your kids, there's something wrong. And you have to start to understand and ask the question why. Okay. So, real quick, I'm going to bring in a caller. I must have hit a nerve with somebody finally. So, give me 1 second. Let me get the live caller thing on here. Hopefully, I can hear him talk. Hello, caller. Oh, can you? Oh, shoot. Oh, good, man. I must have struck a chord sometime today, huh? Oh, is that a good thing or bad thing?
So that's God's will working again, because I made it about the Bible, and every motion I put in front of a judge is fighting for my wife. Even the motion when I'm asking to get her help for her adult children of alcoholic syndrome that she suffers from. Because believe it or not, the VA clinic down here literally put me in contact with the new counselor to help me transition through this, because the last one kept on saying, and she was Catholic and she was a white woman, which is two negatives, because she said, you can't fight it at the Supreme Court. You can't fight it, and you're just wasting your time. So I went to the VA office administrator and said, I don't want to go back to her anymore. I want a black woman that's Protestant, because I know black women will speak their piece to men. That's just the way black women are.
Mm-hmm.
And that woman was excited to see me. She hadn't seen me in 10 years. And she literally told me, she says, you were doing the right thing. You're fighting an uphill battle, but stay the course and do that. And within 2 days, 3 things happened. And now, within the last few days, watch this, for Valentine's Day, I've got a restraining order against me. But there's nothing saying I can't communicate with my own customer relationship software on my computer within my own system. My wife doesn't work for the company anymore. Well, guess who's signing in and reading all the messages I communicate on my own software?
Your wife?
And she's going in there and literally, and you probably have a customer relationship software too, that you can see when people open up stuff and click through and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I give a score on that. So she had a history through the whole divorce proceeding of updating the score to let me know she's reading my love letters. Well, she hasn't got a love letter from me since I had the permanent restraining order put against me, so she found a way around that. She signs into the customer relationship software, and she started changing the scores again. So I was joking with a buddy of mine, I won't mention his name, Larry, and he and I were laughing about it. This is just her subtle way of saying, I'm mad at you. I want back in. I don't know how to get back in, but now I'm going to have to eat a whole bunch of crow with a whole bunch of people, but you keep on fighting for me, and that's what I want. Because that's the only reason why she would be getting on the software and changing the number.
Mm-hmm.
It's a subtle clue that women give that most men would be like, screw that, I don't want to do this, because they let their ego get in the way. And the one thing your course teaches is to strip yourself of the ego, because once you start going to confession all the time, which is, I can't tell you how many times I've been, I stopped counting after about 70 in the last 2 years. It strips you of your ego, and it allows you to do things like I did when I showed up at church with my dog and had the priest rip me a new butthole for just wanting communion. He got admitted into Our Lady of Peace Catholic mental health facility because I wrote a letter to the Archbishop, and it was a scathing letter about their irresponsibility he has to his community. So it goes back to you making your soldiers into monsters for Christ. And I hate to say it that way, but that's the truth. So it's Valentine's Day. So what's the best way to take care of Valentine's? Remind your wife that she wrote you a letter that said St. Valentine's became a saint, and he was venerated because he was being beaten and tormented for marrying Christian couples back in his day. They have ultimately beheaded him, and that's why we have the holiday that we have today, because it was all about love. So if we put God first and our wife second, it doesn't matter I've been separated from her for 2.5 years. What matters is her heart's hurting right now because she has 55 years of pain from her own mom and dad's marriage failing. And it's up to me to task to repair that. So I'm going all the way back to her grandmother. When her grandfather took advantage of her grandmother, Greta King said, "No, I don't want to be there full time for her dad. I'm just going to go find another woman." So her grandmother ended up having 3 kids by 3 different guys. That was back in the 20s, over 100 years ago. So God tasked us all to do things, and if it means I have to go back there to correct the problem that goes within the courts of saying, we can get a divorce and it's no fault, then I'm the guy to do it, so be it. And that's why I'm fighting for it. And that's the thing she can't avoid now.
So you got to start. So you have to start all over again, divorce all over again. Oh, okay.
No, watch this, Jerry. This is the one thing that nobody probably knows about the law, and most attorneys and judges don't know this. I read the law so much. You can actually get this. You can have your divorce annulled, just like you can have your marriage annulled. You can go to the judge and say, I don't want my divorce to be in place anymore. I want to have it annulled. All you have to do is have your wife and you sign a form that states that you want your divorce annulled, and they restore you back to the civil marriage. You don't even have to have a ceremony. Now, how would I know that if I didn't do a whole bunch of study?
You wouldn't.
And that's something that's scaring the living daylights out of all the judges in the region, because I'm about to get up to 40 real quick. I'm at 37, but I've already got the judge in southern Indiana on a mistrial now because the former judge was under a mistrial and he never recused himself. So it puts everything that's happened over the last 8 years with my daughter, it puts it in jeopardy now. And this guy's going to be furious, but he doesn't have a choice because I got the case study. And that goes back to St. Thomas More, who was the gentleman that was beheaded because of King Henry VIII wanted to divorce his wife, Catherine, and have a male heir to the throne. And St. Thomas More was a lawyer and a member of parliament. He stood up for him. So I'm saying if you stand up for God, God's eventually going to see it, and he's going to reward you. It's not an accident that my wife's signing on to that. And I don't care what it says in the civil courts, just a piece of paper. My wife will never forget that I'm the gentleman that courted her for 23 months, and I never took advantage of her. It doesn't matter what happens in marriage. It matters what happened prior to marriage that set the table. And that's the whole thing about when we eat the Lord's dinner. And I don't know if you know this, Jerry. If you can accept this, Larry sent me a link by text message, and it talks about the 14 stations of the cross and how 90% of Catholics that go to Mass go to Mass wrong, because it's all about the 14 sacrifices of the Station of the Cross. And this priest out of the Northeast gives an excellent 30-minute video, and I think it should be part of your program because it really helps men understand that. And my friend that's been married for 44 years down in Florida, he said that was a fantastic video. He just watched it. So if you'd like, I'll forward it to you. Just give me your address or say the address you want me to forward it to, and I'll do that for you. But it's Valentine's Day today. We need to look at St. Valentine, St. Thomas More, and we need to look at our wives and treat them as they do. And I'm the first to admit, I'm just as guilty as any other man getting lazy. Like you said, once you get married, you said, now I can worry about work. I can worry about the guys. I can worry about baseball. I can worry about sports and all that. And then we neglect our wives. And what do? Ooh, poor boy, it's me. I don't have a husband that is my knight in shining armor anymore. I'll show him. I'll make him work his tail off in a courtroom to prove he loves me. And that's the point.
Yeah, I agree. All
So,
right, thanks, man. Thanks for the information, man.
Ed, can you share with me real quick what the email address you want me to send you that video?
Whatever one, it doesn't matter. You have it. Just send it. You got plenty of them.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Thanks, Jerry.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right. Good. Hey, so now we know what happened with Saint. We got got a history lesson. Saint Thomas More. I mean, no, Saint Valentine. I mean, so that's really all right, man. And I hope you guys can understand that this is a battle. It's a battle every day. When your marriage gets a marriage crisis, it becomes a battle. So either you're going to battle for the goodness of your marriage, or you're going to battle a marriage crisis to try to recoup what you lost. That's why you hear him talking about being lazy, because if you if if you don't take care of business now, it's gonna be way worse later. And that's one of the main reasons I started Catholic Alpha, because I wanted men to start to understand, man, take care of business now, so that you don't have to be going through this drudgery and chaos and this pain later. Okay, so let's get back real quick. Oh, it's on the hour. So we got a 5 more to go. So I'm going to run through these pretty quick because I want you to get these all in today for y'all. So number 15 reason that, and I keep saying reason. That's probably because I did that 72 things. I said for 72 things, I said the reason. So how to win your wife's heart forever. And beyond Valentine's Day, number 15 is become a world-class lover. Now, you guys, we talk about it a lot, but I'm telling you, it is the bond. It's a very bonding thing to become a world-class lover. Intimacy, the third reason, the union of the spouses, third reason God created marriage. This is why intimacy is so important. Intimacy outside the bedroom, intimacy inside the bedroom. You must become a master of these things. Okay. This is the bonding through intimacy that will change the course of your marriage and your life. If you want to capture the heart, mind, and soul of your woman, the coup de grace is the intimacy. Okay. All right. Understanding your wife's body, how intimacy is much more important for her than you, and you being able to perform at a high level is paramount to the unbreakable bond that will occur when you love the way your wife needs. Okay, when you become the lover that she needs. Number 16, you become holy, virtuous, and imitate Christ. This cannot be overstated. The more you as a husband understand authentic masculinity, holiness, and through virtue become the husband your wife needs and the man God created you to be, the more your wife will crave you, the more you will draw her to you as well. Most men know this instinctually, but they really don't know how powerful it is for women. What is that? That authentic masculinity draws women to us. Okay. And so that is no different than your wife. This is one of the ways you keep her with you. People, men don't really understand their power as a man. And so they're always trying to be emotional and be effeminate and allow themselves to be emasculated. And that just pushes women away. They don't respect you. Okay. And I'm not saying be a mean ogre type dude. I'm no, just be like Christ and understand what authentic masculinity is the way to it. Okay. Number 17, be on top of your finances. This is a tough one. No matter how much money we make, we must learn how to manage it. This is the key to financial security and your wife feeling that she and the children are secure. Bad money management causes a lot of arguments and bad communication, eventually leading to divorce. Try not to be a statistic, okay? Um, and that's important. Like money, man, money. There are people that are so good with money, and then there are people like me who are horrible with money. And so, believe it or not, this is a security thing for your wife. Even if she's the one's working too, if she's working too, both of you guys are working, we still got to manage the money right, because do you want to be working till you're 90 years old? Some people do because they want to, not because they have to. Okay. Number 18, do whatever it takes to become her best friend. This increases love beyond the love. Better intimacy, better communication, better cooperation, a better one flesh union. We all say we want a great marriage, but many times finding ourselves turning to our current so called best friend for all of our troubles and advice. I ask, isn't that what God and your wife are for? Discussing our dreams, wants, desires, troubles, etc. with anyone other than our wife is a recipe for disaster in marriage. And divorce court is definitely in the future. Okay. I've said it many times. Best friends is your goal with your wife. Stop, please, stop allowing yourself to be knocked down to just a husband. Best friend, you want all of it. The way you look at this is I want all of my wife's mind. I want all of her soul. I want everything. I want the things you talk about with your friend, I want you to talk about it with me too. You know, and if we are allow ourselves to be relegated to just a man and not an awesome great husband that is best friend with our wife, that's how we're gonna get treated. Okay. Okay. And one of the things that I don't like is I don't like how people go, well, we were best friends since we were kids. Man, nobody cares. Nobody's gonna say when you get divorced, well, man, you still got your best friend. No, they ain't gonna say, man, you're a failure, dude. You're a failure. You lost your wife and your family and stuff all because you're friends. That don't make no sense. Okay. All right. Number 19, regularly show passion and excitement for your beloved. If your wife is a homemaker, has a career or a job, she most likely deals with much stress and forced submission throughout the day. Kids, co-workers, bosses generally not getting treated special in any way. When she comes home or you come home, it is imperative that you be genuinely excited to see her. Show her she is special and that you missed her. But be into her, show passion, treat her better than she was treated all day long, and you know how long this interaction takes. It takes maybe 30 seconds. Man, this is a big one. It's small, but it's big. Remember when you and your wife were dating and you just first started dating, right? And you had only seen each other 2 or 3 times. And man, you thought and all the emotion and fire and passion was there between you two, the connection. And you couldn't wait till y'all got out of school, high school or college, or if you guys were working after high school, whatever. You met her and you were like, oh my, you can't wait to see her. She couldn't wait to see you. And when you saw each other, you hugged each other, you kissed each other, you held each other. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Think about it. Your wife, even if she's a homemaker, still the same. Your wife is really not treated special throughout the day. Why? Because it's the world. She's out in the world. She's got kids hanging on her all day or whatever. And people think about themselves all day long. Kids think about themselves all day long. Her co-workers, everybody else she's with thinks about themselves all day long. Out there, she's just a number, right? Out there in the world, your wife is just a number. But man, when she walks through that door, you have the power to make your wife feel like the day don't mean nothing now. That she comes home, you take 30 seconds when you walk in the door or when she comes home, you stand up, you walk over to her and you hug and you kiss her and you hold her for 20 seconds, 30 seconds and say, I'm so glad you're home. I'm excited to see you. Is there anything I could do for you real quick? That's it. 30 seconds, a minute at the most. And then you'll talk for like another minute or two or whatever. And then you go back to doing your work because, like me, I work from home. So I got to go back doing my work and stuff. And then we'll talk much more later. But that first 30 seconds to a minute, your wife comes home. That's a very special moment. Think of it like that, man. Just think how your wife is just treated like a number when she's away. And this is how you guys become disconnected because somebody out there treats your wife better than you do. And if that is the case, you better ask somebody. Okay. And the last one for the day, connect with her daily through great conversation. Never underestimate conversation when it comes to women. This is how they fall in love with you. This is what it takes This is what makes them desire you. This draws them close to you and connects them to you. So each and every day, we must use this bonding conversation to connect with our wife daily. It helps keep the emotional connection that women so desperately desire and need to feel loved by their husband. Listen, 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 and do it with a great attitude and without interrupting. There's really no better skill in the world. So, gentlemen, your wife fell in love with you because of your conversation, her talking to you, whatever you did, whatever you said back then is why she fell in love with you. Now, I don't know what it was because I wasn't there, but you know what you said, you know what you did, you know how you acted. What I'm trying to do is make your marriage better than it was, greater than it was. And this is how you do it. You work hard at it. You don't take it for granted. You jump in there and you rock and roll with it. Okay? So, with that being said, we'll be right back. Think about the things we went over today. We'll be back with a review. Bam. Get live Catholic marriage help Tuesday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Live streamed on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and CatholicAlpha.com. If you're getting value from this podcast and would like more personal marriage help, visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com for an opportunity to work with me personally for free. Yes, within 30 days, learn how to become a better husband that attracts your wife back to you. Visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com and get a plan tailored specific to your marriage and situation. I've helped hundreds of men in their marriages. Allow me the chance to help you using my personal and gained experience. Visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com for superior coaching for your marriage. Again, SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com. That's SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com to become the man God created you to be and the husband your wife needs. Lastly, I always get the question, why don't you help women? And I always answer them, I do. So, for all of you beloved wives out there that want to reignite that feeling of emotional closeness and complete love from your hubby, consider marriage coaching and visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com for an improved marriage within 30 days. We are back. Oh, all right, all right. We are back and are basically done for the day. So I hope that these things helped you. We are gonna make love to our wives after Valentine's Day. We gonna make love to them all year long, y'all. We gonna show them. We gonna prepare them for our love. We gonna show them how special they are outside the bedroom. We gonna hold their hand. We gonna talk to them. We gonna have great conversations. We gonna protect them. We gonna defend them. We gonna serve them, and then they're gonna turn into the woman that we need, the beautiful wife that serves us and loves us and respects us and draws our kids to us. This is how they become great women, great wives, and this is how we become great men. We learn to cooperate with God and each other, and we love each other and serve each other, and that's how it rolls. Okay, so real quick, we're going to talk. We're going to go over the ones we did today from number 11 to number 20, so that you have something more to think about. And then on tomorrow's show, which will be show 212, we will get into more action step things that you can do to make this work. Okay, so tune in tomorrow. So number 11 way to win your wife's heart forever is always defend her against Satan, your parents, siblings, friends, and kids. Number 12, go on date night weekly. Number 13, never stop dating and courting your wife. Number 14, assure and show her she is priority number one. Number 15, become a world-class lover. Number 16, you become holy, virtuous, and imitate Christ. Number 17, be on top of your finances. Number 18, do whatever it takes to become her best friend. Number 19, regularly show passion and excitement for your beloved. And number 20, connect with her daily through great conversations. And so, as we always do, we end with a quote from Pope Benedict XVI, which states, society offers you comfort, but you weren't made for comfort. You were made for greatness. Now go forth, Christian soldier. The spiritual fight is upon you. Fast, pray, and prepare for battle. Thank you for listening in today. If what you heard helped you in any way and you would like more personal attention, visit SaveMyCatholicMarriage.com for superior marriage coaching. And remember to join the Catholic Alpha Radical Live podcast as a caller or listener every Tuesday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern. To join as a caller, dial area code 313-RADICAL. To join as a listener or view the live stream, visit the Catholic Alpha Radical Live Facebook page or visit CatholicAlpha.com for Catholic marriage help that actually works. Bam!